So, is the adaptation process, the break-in period, something important? No, it isn't. It's absolutely essential and necessary. How you doing, guys? Professor EDC with another BLADE-OSOPHY Sunday. After this BLADE-OSOPHY Friday, where I responded to a good friend, Dirk Werning, to a video he did. If you haven't watched that, go to this Friday's video and take a look at it. But anyways, we have a double BLADE-OSOPHY, as someone mentioned before. So, the break-in period. What is the break-in period? Well, we got to take into consideration two things, two factors, and that is the mechanism in our blades, or the other part, the part in front of me. Why do I say that? Because I can have a blade, I can have a job, I can have a person, I can have a vacation, and the break-in period is an adaptation period. An adaptation not only on the blade in front of me, not only in the person, on behalf of the person in front of me, but it is also an adaptation period right here. Right here. Yeah. We have to adapt. Why? Because, let's say, for example, I'm really used to spider ghosts, to this shaman, not shaman, shaman, Latin word, shaman. Anyways, I'm really used to this opening mechanism, to this locking mechanism, to this ergos, and the looks of this, right? And to the strength of this. And I really enjoy it and I really love it. But then again, okay, so I went out and bought this this Jack Wolf. No, it's not a sharpshooter, is it? Well, I went out and bought this Jack Wolf, and this Jack Wolf has different looks. Gunslinger. This is the gunslinger. I always confuse it, the sharpshooter and the gunslinger. So went out and got the gunslinger. Has different looks, different ergos, different blocking or locking mechanisms, different ways to deploy it than the shaman, different performance, of course. It's going to be for a different use. And so, you know, I have to adapt to this knife. My hand has to adapt. I have to adapt to how to use this knife. In contrast with the shaman. But at the same time that is happening, guess what? The mechanism in this folder is breaking in as well. So, and that's something that we sometimes forget, that it takes time. We want everything automatically. We want everything at the reach of one click, and we have forgotten how to wait, and we have forgotten the importance of that wait, and we have forgotten just so many other things, right? How many of us, how many of you, including myself, but how many of you cut yourself the first time you closed Benchmade? or the second time you closed it. Or the shaman, for example. This one bit me right off the bat. I don't know if it was the first time or the second time I closed it, and it bit me. Yeah, cut me. Well, we go through a learning process, whether we face different situations or we encounter different people, but we go through a different process with each and every one of them, with different mechanisms, with different ergonomics, and with different looks. Aesthetically speaking, all of these knives are pretty different in one way or another, right? And some, when they arrive, by the way, all of these were a bit stiff when they came in. And I don't like to loosen the pivot. I like to wait. I like to wait for that breaking period to kick in and be conscious about it. For example, and this is one of those that takes some time to break in. This is still breaking in. As a matter of fact, the lock stick, and you'll be able to see there, that's a stain right there of Sharpie and pencil, and that helps with the lock stick. Now, it has required a bit less, and in particular with Emerson's, that's a thing, that always has happened. With the 2-3 Emerson's I have, I've had to do that. But with the Sebenza, this Sebenza in particular took more than a month to loosen up, to break in, and right now it's just smooth. And of course, they're not meant to open like that. And of course, I'm in front of a camera, and that's more difficult. But it can be flicked open. But again, this is, as of yet, not a knife to be used like that. And that's something that's part of the adaptation. That's a process. That's part of the breaking process on behalf of the knife and on behalf of myself. Understanding that this is not a Spyderco. This is not the Shaman, right? This is not the Strider, nor the Benchmade. This is a different knife, and I gotta understand that. And so we gotta understand that when we meet, when we face, when we get to know different people. Because the ergos are going to be different. Because the profile, the performance is going to be different. Because this knife is not going to react to me as other knives. This is going to be different. This is going to perform different. This looks different, and this is going to perform different in hand and feel different in hand. So, is the adaptation process important? It's more than important. It's essential. It's basic. It's something that we gotta understand. Otherwise, yeah, I've seen people get by these wonderful knives, the Chris Reeve knives, and because they can't flick it open like a like a shaman, like a spider go, they immediately sell them. And well, that's just what can I say? They missed out on one of the greatest knives of all time. And that happens to us many a times with jobs, with people, with situations that because we become desperate, we don't give it enough time to understand what we have in hand. And that's one of the things I've learned with blades, and that I continuously keep on learning, because they continuously keep on teaching me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Professor EDC out.